Welcome to Mehetabel Counseling Services YouTube channel. My name is Faith Kushu. Today we are going to talk about parenting. What is parenting? Parenting is the process of supporting the physical, the intellectual, the social, and the emotional being of a child. I would want to ask, when we have a shamba and we have planted some plants, for example, maize, beans, and we want the best for them, what do? Do we till the land, or do we wait for the harvest and start complaining that the harvest was not good enough, yet we didn't take care of it? So in parenting, it is work, 24/7 work, and when we do that, at least we are assured that our children will grow up to be healthy children. However, sometimes, because of the differences of the parenting style, we may not be able to do that very effectively. So today we'll talk about the parenting styles, starting with the permissive parent. The permissive parent rarely gives authority to their children. And somehow, the permissive parent is too agreeable. If, for example, our son says they are meant to go back to school by Monday, he will come with an authority like, we are meant to go back on Monday, but I would want to go back on Friday. The permissive parent or the agreeing parent will not question the reason why the son or the daughter wants to go back to school on Friday. Essentially, this child is like they are bringing themselves up because the parents are not able to put restrictions. The parents are not able to tell them no. So as a permissive parent, we need to be careful because the repercussions are these people grow up knowing that they don't have to agree to the authority. They do not have to have rules and regulations. They have no boundaries because they were allowed to do virtually everything in their home. The other one is neglectful parent. Neglectful parent is a parent who is not there. They gave birth to the child, but they are not there. They do not support them emotionally. They do not support them physically. Neither do they support them intellectually. You can't be that parent where everything is taken care of from childhood to a certain age. And sometimes we can see them during the graduations or even after class 8 or form 4, where the children have done their best and performed. These parents, the neglectful parent, their hands are folded, or rather they are off the parenting. They leave the parenting to the other party, and it becomes very difficult because one, when this parent is neglectful, when they come in, instead of following the rules and regulations set up by the parent who is parenting, they bring in other things like they can bring in goodies. And for the first time, the children can be allowed to be themselves because they do not know the repercussions of good parenting. Then we have the authoritarian parent. The authoritarian parent is where the children have no voice. It is either her way or the highway. So what do? They bring up their children condemning their strength. They bring up their children not asking for their opinion. They bring up their children not even knowing whether these children have strength. And I'll give an example of a driver. So when this child knows very well, it will not matter whether I speak to my dad or not, whether I speak to my mom or not, they will never agree to what I would want to request. So what do? They sit on the back seat and let the parent drive. The parent can drive from primary school to high school and even to campus. At the point where this person will have authority to call the shots themselves, they will go back to school and do what they wanted to do. And we have seen them in institutions where the parent really insisted for the child to do this course for them. Then later, the child will bring in the report form, the child will bring in the degree or the certificate and tell them, now this is for you, I am going out to do me. We do not, and we start doing that at a very early age. So these children grow up knowing they cannot do anything without asking for permission from the authoritarian parent, because the authoritarian parent at no time did he ever appraise the boy. At no time did he appraise the girl. So this person grow up looking for affirmation and validation from his parent, who is an authoritarian, and they may never get them. So what do? You find that at old age, they have already lost their self-confidence, they have already lost their self-esteem, they have already lost themselves to the things the parents want them to do. How do you know whether you're an authoritarian parent? When you go home, what is the first thing that happens? Do the children come hugging? Do the children come running to you? Do the children come, or do they run away from you when you go home? And they make sure the house is tidy as you want it. The house is clean as you want it. The books are on the table as you want it. However, that is not what they were doing before you came in. Now, as an authoritarian parent, when you get home, the first thing you ask are negative intonations. What have you been doing? What have you done the whole day? And you go checking for the things that have not been attended to, for the dishes that have not been cleaned, for the house that is very untidy. But at no point do you ask these children, by the way, how are you feeling today? How are you today? Do you at any point as a parent sit down and listen to what our children are saying? Most likely no. And this, the authoritarian, which in another word is a dictatorial father or mother, their love is very conditional. Like, I will love you if you pass your exams. When you pass your exams, you have my best love. So their love is very conditional. Finally, we have the authoritative parent. Authoritative parent is the just right parent, where they give the children the mandate to be the authentic self. However, they put rules and regulations, and they communicate that if these rules are broken, these are the repercussions. So they give their children the leeway to become themselves. However, these children know, if I do wrong, if I do this and this, then these are the repercussions. When you have been brought up by the authoritative parent, you have confidence, you have self-esteem, because these parents, most of them, build their children up by allowing the children to become their own self, by allowing the children to make mistakes, but they do not harshly correct their mistakes. They tell them, this ought to have been like this. The authoritarian parent, they correct the child like this. You have a child and you're cleaning up the child. After you are done with cleaning, I would ask you, do we throw the child with the bath water? The authoritarian parents throw the child with the bath water. So their mistakes and the child himself are thrown out like you are a mess. No, the authoritative parent, they throw the bath water and leave the child covered. Correct the child in a way that they can be able to change, having not lost their esteem. So what kind of a parent are you? And I would want to ask you, as we are parenting, are we parenting to have a better generation, or are we parenting telling them, in this house, in my house, you have to behave like this and this and this? Because if you're telling them, in my house, you have to behave like this and this, when that child walks out of your house, it means they have the freedom to behave the way they want, because you have not told them, this is what you need to do in order for you to have a better life in life. The other challenge is your house visitors friendly, or is your house your children's friendly? Is it friendly to your children, or is it friendly to the visitors, where everything has to be in its position 24/7? Meaning, these children have to go outside to play. The other thing we do as parents is, when our children are small, we tell them to go and play outside, because we don't want them messing our house. So at teenagehood, we start pleading to the same children we threw outside, please come back home, home is safe. But we told them, the house is a serious business, go outside and play. So what do? They go outside and play. And that's why we are seeing our children in the streets. We are seeing our children outside, because they are not comfortable at home, because the home is not an environment to do their bit, to become themselves, to be themselves. They have to be outside and come back collected. So what kind of a parent are you? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next episode. Kindly subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.